Today, we're going to be talking about 5 commitments I think every church leader, pastor, ministry leader should commit to in 2024. So let's get started. The first one is this, and I don't think any of us will disagree with this, is number one, we should be all praying more in 2024 than we've ever have before. This is an area of my life that I struggle with, that I know I need to get better at. I don't have a consistent rhythm to it. And I need to get better. And I bet there's many of you that's the same case, right? We know we should pray more. We know that it makes a difference. We know that we feel better when we're praying more. We know that it makes a difference within our ministry. We know it makes a difference within our personal lives, in everything that we do. And we want to connect with God more. We want to build that relationship. And so one of the main ways we do that is through our prayers. And so let's commit to praying more in 2024. Let's set aside whatever, put it on the calendar. Make sure that it's that you have that scheduled out. Do it at the same time every day. Set an alarm if you have to. Be intentional about it. Make sure you don't miss it, and make sure it gets done. All right, so praying more in 2024. The second thing that we want to do, that I think everybody should commit to, is to spend more quality time, make more memories with your family and friends. I don't think, again, when we get to the end of our lives, as we think back of what we wish we had done, I think one of the things we're going to think about is, man, I wish I had more time to spend with our family, with our friends. And so let's take advantage of that right now. Don't wait till later on in life, and don't wait to regret it later on. But let's do it right now. Again, be intentional about it. Set up, schedule those date nights with your spouse. Set up some fun family times. Take vacations. Take some trips. Do some just have fun doing random stuff, right? It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be something extravagant. Like, you can make memories doing pretty much the simplest things. Some of the simplest things. And so make memories, make time for your family and for your friends. That's one of the areas that I'm going to be intentional about in this coming year, that I have let slip really over the last few years. Is like, I've not been a very good friend, and I have not been intentional about building relationships with friends. Just sort of been in ministry mode or in family mode, and sort of friends have taken a back seat, and I hadn't really thought about it much. And I think that's an area of my life that I need. I know I need it. I need those connections. I need people around me that I can speak to. They can speak into me. I can speak into them. And so I'm going to be intentional about how much time I spend with my friends over this next year. The third thing is, pick one area, and I would say one, because I think if we start saying, I'm going to do all these things, or I'm going to improve in all of these areas of our lives, we get frustrated, we get overwhelmed, and we never do it. But I would suggest this: pick one area of your life, from your personal life, that you want to get better at, that you want to improve in. And so maybe that's in your friendships and relationships. Maybe it's within your marriage. You're still saying, hey, I've kind of let my marriage slip, and I need to really spend some time investing back into this, my spouse, and this relationship. And so I'm going to do that. For some of you, it may be finances, and it's like, man, our finances have kind of gotten out of control over the last few years. Inflation has went crazy. We've put stuff on the credit cards that we used to not have to put on the credit cards, and so now we need to get that under control. And so this next year, I'm really going to be intentional about improving in this area of my life. And so what's that personal thing for you? And then the other part of that is, what's one area of ministry that we want to improve in? And so depending on your position and your role in ministry, this could look differently. But for some, it could be like, hey, I want to learn how to become a better preacher, a better communicator. And so I'm going to be intentional this year at reading books about that, listening to podcasts about that, watching videos about how I can improve and how I can get better. I'm going to ask for feedback. I'm going to watch myself on video, even though that's super awkward, cringy, but I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to do that. And so that might be one of those areas. You may say, I'm going to get better at thanking our volunteers and serving our volunteers. That's an area that I need to get better in. I need to spend more time with them, and so I'm going to be more intentional about that. We need to be better about raising up young leaders within our church, and so I'm going to identify some young leaders that I'm going to pour into this year, and so that's an area of our life, of our ministry, that we're going to do that. We got to get better at making disciples, and so I'm gonna commit to starting a discipleship group, and me and 4 or 5 other people are going to be part of this discipleship group, and then we're going to multiply from there. So whatever it might be for you, what's that one area of your life and of your ministry that you can say, like, these are the areas that I'm concentrating on this year. This is where I'm going to be intentional. This is where I'm going to put in my energy and my effort, and we're going to see a difference in these places this year. So that's the third thing. Fourth thing kind of goes along with some of that is send encouragement, send thank you cards. I can't say this enough to church leaders, to pastors especially. The power of encouragement, the power of a thank you card, the power of an encouraging text, and an encouraging moment. I can't overstate it. Like, it is just, it means a great deal to people. And for most of us in ministry leaders, like, we're not really good at this. We struggle with this because it feels like, well, we have all this other stuff that we're trying to worry about, all this other stuff that we're trying to get done, all this other stuff I have on my plate. When do I really have time to sit down and write out some thank you cards? And I'm telling you, one of the most, I truly believe this, one of the most impactful things that you can do this year within your ministry, whether you're a lead pastor or worship pastor, kids, whether you're a Sunday school teacher, whatever it might be, whatever ministry role you have, one of the most impactful things that you can do this year is to commit to writing thank you cards, to be an encourager. If you're a pastor, it makes your preaching better, right? If you're a teacher, it makes your teaching better. If you're a youth pastor, it makes your messages better and all the fun things you do better. It just does. So many people, from a volunteer role or from an attendee role, sometimes they leave the church and they feel like, you know what, I don't know if they ever really cared about me, and I just encourage you to encourage them and commit to doing that. And the last thing is this, and again, I think some of us are probably pretty good at this, and others of us aren't good at all. And number 5 is, I want us to commit to connecting with other pastors, with other ministry leaders in our same areas of ministry. Commit to connecting with them. Don't live on an island all by yourself. Don't, if your church is part of an association, part of a denomination, part of a network, whatever it might be, commit to being a part of it. Be a part of it. We're better when we're working together. And I know it can be hard to work with other pastors sometimes, to work with other churches sometimes. I know sometimes they see things differently than we do, and so we're like, well, we're just not going to have anything to do with them at all. And the church overall suffers because of that. There are people that show up to those association meetings, those denomination events, those type of things. There's people that show up that you could be pouring into, that need you in their lives. They need encouragement from another person. They need to know that there's somebody else going through some of the same things that they're going through. They need you to be a part of that. If you're a ministry leader, if you're, like I said, if you're a worship leader, a kids pastor, if you're a youth pastor, find other worship pastors that you can connect with, kids pastors that you can connect with. Find other people that are doing ministry like that you do. But maybe they're doing it differently, because we need to learn from each other. We need to encourage each other. We need to be there for each other. We are certainly better when we're together and when we're working together. And so certainly want you to do that. So let's go over these 5 one more time. As we're going to pray more in 2024, we're going to spend more time with our family, with our friends. We're going to be more intentional about building those relationships. We're going to improve in at least one area of our life, personally and within ministry. We're going to put together a plan where we're going to improve one area of our life. And we're going to send encouragement. We're going to send thank you cards. We're going to be an encourager. People are never going to have to doubt whether that we appreciate them, because we're going to go over and above to appreciate people, especially the most important people in our lives. And then we're going to commit to connecting with others in ministry, others within our community. We're going to connect with them because we believe that we're better together. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, like and subscribe. My name is Travis, and I love doing ministry with you.